feel I can say very confidently that, as Adrian did mention this, our Congress, Republicans and Democrats alike, there are many issues in which they have had differences on. But on this issue, I think they have been very strong. I think they have been very united. And what has really struck me is the fact that there have been quite a few hearings held both on the Senate side and on the House side on Ukraine alone, and looking at every piece, whether it's the military questions, whether it's the economic, whether it's the political, and I think that's very positive. John just testified recently. I testified a couple of months ago. We both testified after the Assistant Secretary, and I think that all of that is very good, and that will continue. So regardless of our outcome of our presidential election. But I want to inject a different piece in this, and sometimes something that's often forgotten. And that is, I yesterday spoke about civil society, all of you. Well, let me tell you, in the United States, our civil society also matters. And I have been very struck, and by the way, not just by Ukrainian Americans, but let me tell you, those in the neighborhood, the Polish Americans, the Estonian Americans, all the Baltic Americans, they're all out there, and they're very much out there. And by the way, our presidential candidates want to get their votes. So they know they have an opportunity to get their agenda items on that debate. And in that sense, that's what he referred to earlier, there's a real opportunity here. And that's why I'll say, I think that regardless at this point in time of whether any of the candidates have addressed it or not addressed it, or our speculation as to whether they might come together, I think you're going to find that our civil society on this issue is united and really strong, and candidates are going to want to get their votes. So it's going to matter.
I guess when you say some complimentary words about civil society in translation into Ukrainian, that actually matters more than the government, because we know who's actually doing the work here. In this part of the world, well, it's a bit different in the United States. We'll still have to take in consideration the checks and balances you have there. Let me open the floor for questions from the audience at this point, and if you would like to ask them, just raise your hand. And we'll do our best to pass on the mic so the interpreters can hear. Is there a different mic there, or should I just... Let me...